Good morning, everyone, and thank you for inviting me to speak to you today. I've heard a lot about the prominence of the Coastal Futures Conference and the ongoing work that Natasha, David and Dickon do with the marine and coastal community across the UK, so I'm really pleased to be able to join you. And I'm hoping for the first of many times as Minister responsible for domestic and international marine and for water more generally. Marine is one of the most exciting areas of my portfolio and one where I am determined to tackle the challenges we face to recover our seas, both around England and internationally in the high seas. But I know we've got a big challenge. Our seas are crowded and getting more so. And with OSPA's 2023 Quality Status Report showed, biodiversity is declining across most of the North East Atlantic. As the Environment Secretary said last week, nature underpins the foundations of the government's ambitions on economic growth. We need to go further and faster for nature, with coordinated action across the society to turn the tide on its decline. Our marine protected areas, covering 40% of England's seas, are one of our best tools to protect nature. However, the MPA network is under pressure, both from spatial squeeze and climate change. This government has made it clear its commitment to growth and to radically increasing clean energy. But we have also been clear that this will be done in a nature-positive way and mindful of the impacts on other marine users. I remain committed to a coherent, well-protected MPA network, but we need to make sure it is fit for the future. To do that, I have started a review of our MPA network within England. I want to find ways to optimise our network to better address the biodiversity crisis, be more resilient to climate change and support food security alongside meeting our net zero targets. And my team will be coming out to partners soon to involve all of you. Reaching our goal to protect 30% of our seas by 2030 means managing damaging activities. I know many of you will be frustrated that we didn't hit the previous government's goal of managing fisheries in our MPAs by the end of last year. I've heard you, and we will be making progress on this, consulting thoroughly, engaging all of you here, and including our important fishing industry and avoiding blanket bans. You've also been waiting for the UK Marine Strategy Programme of Measures. Well, the good news is I've published that this morning. I want to see quick progress, and I expect to consult on the latest assessment on the state of UK seas later this year as part of the update to the UK Marine Strategy Part 1 and progress towards our targets around good environmental status. Our cross-government Marine Spatial Prioritisation Programme has generated insights about the scale of pressure on English waters and the challenge this represents. We're now exploring how to best manage the demands of our marine environment to ensure nature remains central to our plans and how the government can help industries to better co-locate. The UK's internationally important seabirds are important indicators of a healthy coastal ecosystem. We know the UK is not achieving good environmental status for breeding seabirds under the UK Marine Strategy, with population declines being driven by increasing pressures and exacerbated by the devastating impacts of the highly pathogenic avian influenza. To change this, I'll be working with officials, our statutory advisors and our NGO communities to consider how we can work together to take key actions from Natural England's English seabird conservation and recovery path report forwards. There's a lot of work to be done, but I am confident if we work together, including by leveraging compensation measures, we can drive positive change. We agreed to deliver the Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction Agreement in 2023, and I'm completely committed to ratifying that agreement, and the legislation to implement it will be introduced as soon as parliamentary time allows, and I have a team of officials working on this as we speak. But with offshore wind, growing our economy through clean power by 2030 is one of our 5 missions, and homegrown energy from our seas is vital to this. Offshore wind will play a pivotal role in our clean energy mission, and this government is committed to radically increasing offshore wind deployment by 2030. In the Clean Power Action Plan, we confirmed our commitment to delivering offshore wind environmental improvement package. This will accelerate and de-risk the consent of offshore wind projects whilst continuing to protect the marine environment. We will establish industry-funded marine recovery funds into which applicants can pay to discharge their obligations to provide environmental compensatory measures for unavoidable adverse impacts on our precious network of marine protected areas. The fund will then deliver impactful strategy environmental measures. Today, I'll be saying more to Parliament, actually published in about 10 minutes, more to Parliament about my plans for delivery for the offshore wind environmental improvement package. Growth and environmental protection need our regulatory systems to be working effectively. Our regulators need to direct their resources to where it will make the most difference. DEFRA will soon start a consultation on improving the marine licensing system. This seeks to make it more efficient, support the marine management organisation to do its work for improved cost recovery and better protect nature. We want to go further in managing other activities in our seas, making sure they're truly sustainable, supporting growth and nature. Last week, the government announced changes in how noise is managed in our seas, championing innovative and quieter construction technologies to protect vulnerable marine life while accelerating the building of offshore wind clean energy projects. Later this year, we will hold a public consultation on setting a future noise limit for offshore wind construction at sea. This government was pleased to restart the Fisheries Management Plans programme, and we're really grateful for the support of the fishing sector and wider stakeholders in helping to collaboratively shape these plans, and we're making great progress. We've published 6 plans, consulted on another 5, and in December, legislation implementing a number of the measures in the published fisheries management plans came into force. We have started implementing inshore vessel monitoring and remote electronic monitoring in England. IVMS uses the global positioning system to track a vessel's position, direction and speed. With this spatial data, we can monitor fishing compliance and support fishing interests alongside marine protected areas. Remote electronic monitoring is a data collection tool that can be installed on vessels to collect information on fishing activities and catches. This information will be used to inform science and help government and the fishing industry manage stocks sustainably. We are changing and improving how we use evidence. Government has rightly been criticised in the past for a lack of join-up between departments and with external groups when striving for ocean sustainability. But alongside our mission-led approach to government, in DEFRA, we are tackling this by expanding DEFRA's systems research programme to cover marine environment. Modernising our work in this way will help accelerate nature recovery, allowing our coastal communities to thrive, streamline our approach to policy making and magnify blue growth. Filling another evidence gap, I'm delighted to announce we have recently published a roadmap to the potential inclusion of salt marsh in the UK's greenhouse gas inventory. When we say we want to work with you, this is not just talk. We are transitioning to co-design and co-delivery as business as usual, with commercial fishermen, recreational anglers and civil society organised in the full fisheries management plan process. Elsewhere, fishermen and women have facilitated and co-left the scripting of the first fishing industry social survey, and representatives from processing, aquaculture and again fishing are co-designing interventions to ensure a resilient ocean workforce as part of the UK's Seafood Carers project. We are working with partners to understand the interconnected issues facing coastal communities through our support of the Resilient UK Coastal Communities and Seas programme and the Coastal Communities and Seas Together for Resilient Network. I have high ambition for what we can do together for our seas this year, and I'm really looking forward to working with you all to deliver the change needed.